Hello traders, it's Samurai Trader here. Welcome to this live trading action recap. We're going to be looking at a number of trades that I took on the ES233 volume chart for what day was that? That was for my time, Friday the 26th. Now remember, I only trade the ES233 volume after hours during the Globex market because it's just way too fast during normal market hours. During normal market hours I'll usually jump up to the 1000, and in actual fact I'm going to be doing a quick video after this one recapping some trades from today's trading the 1000. I just fired off a few trades and I'll just discuss those as well. As always, please read the risk disclaimer. Mainly members, a lot of members will be seeing this particular video, so I know you get sick of seeing this every day. For new traders or those that are just joined my YouTube channel or just watching this for the first time, please read the disclaimer. We will be going to look at the charts in a couple of moments. So down on the bottom right hand side, bottom right hand corner I should say, you can go to full screen should you wish. Now I now have hundreds of members that have invested in the Day Traders Fast Track program, and I would probably get now on average 15 to 20 emails a day from members asking questions, and I also talk to a lot of brand new traders that are considering purchasing the program. And for an example, yesterday I was talking to someone in New York, I think it was, another gentleman who was over in Vegas, and I love chatting away to some of these traders, and both of these traders actually were already very experienced. But anyway, getting back to this, quite often we'll discuss what my personal philosophy is or where I'm coming from as a trader. Traders, I believe I'm extremely blessed. I'm serious here, and what you can see on the screen I have printed out, typed up and printed out, and we have it on every mirror in our home. So it's on probably 6 or 8 mirrors throughout the house. So I just want to read it out to you. Without exception, begin every day of your life with gratitude. As you look in the mirror, say, thank you God for life, for my body, for my family and loved ones, for this day and the opportunity to be of service. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now Dr. Wayne Dyer, who passed away unfortunately not so long ago, something I got, can't remember where it was, I put this up, but I truly believe this has reaped enormous benefits for myself and my family, and particularly as traders, because if you continually repeat that statement, thank you, thank you, thank you, it's amazing. It has a calming effect, and that's just so important as traders that we approach it calmly. And once again, as you hear me say probably every recording, discipline's like a muscle. The more often you use it, the better you become at it. Likewise, the more often you practice calming yourself down, etc., the easier trading becomes. Now another thing that comes up regularly is where I live. I live very, very close to the beach on sunny Queensland in Australia. We will be moving back to Santa Monica, which we love also, and in many ways where I live reminds me very, very much of Santa Monica. And what we can see there, this is yesterday, so this is Friday the 26th. I went for after the market closes 7 a.m. my time, or is it 8 a.m. 8 a.m. sorry, at the moment with daylight savings. If I don't have appointments in the office, I'll always go down and go for a walk along the beach, and I do this basically at least 3 mornings a week. And my wife and I were actually going down there for dinner tonight up on the hill, actually, where you can see those people sitting on the left there. It's just a beautiful part of the world. And getting out there as traders, we're looking all the time for things to do that will relax us. I mean, that's what you want to do. And by the way, that's looking back. The photo on the right hand side is looking back on a beautiful spot on the Gold Coast called Surfers Paradise, and you can just see that's only about 6 kilometers away. On the far right there you can see those tall buildings. It's very, very much a holiday destination. The water is at the moment 24 Celsius, which is really beautiful and warm, and the sands here are just pristine. It's just a beautiful part. And the photo on the left is a big hill. It's a national park that I go walking through at least, as I mentioned, 3 mornings a week. I'll go for a 2 kilometer walk up the hill and through there. I've got lots of wild turkeys. It's just absolutely beautiful. And the reason I bring that up, traders, is it's really important that we have balance. And trading can be very stressful. And one of the things with trading is, and I was discussing this with a gentleman yesterday from New York, is that I can't sit and trade 6 hours straight. 2-3 hours is sort of my maximum, and I'll usually hit my targets within the first couple of hours. The first 90 minutes normally I'm done and dusted, and 2 hours I've had enough. And so, bring yourself back to balance. And what I will usually do, as most of you are aware that are members of mine, is I'll trade the London session, which is really 6 p.m. onwards Australian time where I live, for a few hours, and then I'll usually do a bit of trading in the morning on the ES 1000, and that keeps me really busy. So anyway, so that's where I live, and absolutely beautiful part of the world. Let's now start to get into trading itself before we go to the charts. I don't want to make this a really long War and Peace video today, but what I want to just point out here is being a pattern rules-based trader. Because I want to go to the charts in a moment. You'll see I don't take a lot of trades. What I'm doing is usually I'm multitasking, but because I've been trading that long, I developed what I call SSP, subtle sensory perception. I see the patterns forming, and that makes my life so much easier. And that's a great thing for you. It's really, our business is about learning how to trade patterns, mechanical patterns. Now, there are 3 real things that we need to do is, of course, master your tools. That is your trading dome, and you do that in simulation. That's a great thing about trading. Initially, you don't have to risk 1 cent, even if it takes you 90 days. So what, traders? Spend 90 days on the simulator, even if it's only with 1 or 2 setups, until you master the setup. Become an epic trader. Remember, you've got to be in the top 5%. And to be there, you've got to be a master, because remember, trading is a zero-sum game. For us to make money, we're taking it out of somebody else's bank account, so we need to be good. The great thing is, because most traders lack the discipline, they don't master their tools, and they certainly don't master them themselves. This makes it easier for us, but you can do all of these things, and it takes some time. And remembering, over 70% of the traders that join me are already experienced, and I say to every single one, everyone, and I'm just so grateful that how many people really share their stories and their research with what they've done, and it's just incredible. But I say to everyone, don't trade any real money until you've really remastered yourself, you've gone back and retrained yourself. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself a bit here. Just before we go to the charts, this really, I just love this one here, wax on, wax off. And this is where it gets back to using the simulators, traders. Wax on, 1 setup. Why do I have to keep doing this? Wax on, wax off. Now, John Wooden, now here basketball isn't anywhere. No, it was not basketball. Was it basketball, John Wooden? I'm just trying to think. It was basketball. Was it I can't remember which sport it was. I think it was basketball. All I know is that John Wooden, of course, one of the greatest coaches in the world, and isn't that terrible? I'm Australian, guys. He used to have his brilliant athletes go and throw a ball like 400 or 500 times, even though they were great at it, because he said you've got to be able to do it when it really matters. And so wax on, wax off, and that's right. Perhaps it's not a great analogy there, traders, but I think you get the drift here. Is even when you think you're good, you need to keep doing it, because as you're about to see on my trading yesterday, hey, I still make mistakes every day, and you've got perhaps one little advantage over me is because I'm answering emails and I'm doing things with other corporate clients I'm usually multitasking, which I shouldn't be doing. And it's, look, the teacher is the one that has to learn. I'm the one that's got to learn some of the biggest lessons here. And I've been doing this a long time, and I'm still multitasking, and I think I was saying it to someone yesterday. I shouldn't be. In actual fact, I remember now, I executed a trade that I saw set up while I was actually talking to a gentleman yesterday, a brand new member, and I got out of it a +1 tick because I hadn't looked at the chart properly and I was up against support. So anyway, um, I'm just going to give you the good and bad of the ugly traders. I'm not going to just show you all the great trades. I'm going to explain the mistakes that I make so you can learn, hopefully learn from my mistakes. And I'm going to tell you on some of the things that I do, don't do them. Okay, so let's get into this now. So follow the money trail. What is the 34 doing? And I borrowed this line from a gentleman yesterday. His name is a brand new member from New York called Brian, and Brian said to me his 34 is yellow. Well, mine's 34, and he said it's yellow because to me it's gold, and that just resonated. And he had a bit of a chuckle when I said, and Brian, I know you're going to be listening to this recording as well. Thank you, Brian. I told him what I was going to do, and really it's gold. The 34 is where all the smart money is following the 34. So follow the money trail. Remember the 34. Very, very important. Now, just before we go to the charts, what I do every day, I do this only on the 233. I don't do it on the 1000, but I will go back and do a 2-minute video of the day's trading action on the 233. Now Snagit, which allows you to record, and you can do a voiceover like I'm doing now. It's $49, 49 bucks. You can have a permanent record of your trades, but also going back, I can go back over a number of weeks, and because on a 233 some nights there you'll get thousands of candles will form. To go and put a couple of months worth of data is a real problem with TradeStation. So I've got this big library that allows me to go back. If I've got an idea I just want to go back and check on, I've recorded it. So I'd highly recommend that you consider investing in Snagit. And just before we go to the charts, of course, all of these setups I'm about to show you and a whole lot more is all in the Day Traders Fast Track program for $197. Now, for my members, just so you know, the new website will be up and running in, I think it's 3 or 4 weeks now, 3 weeks. I think the developer's promising me, where all of this will be uploaded into the members area. At the moment, I send out a pile of emails where you get over 20 hours of recordings. But with the upcoming launch of a live trading room and a whole lot of other things, the resources are enormous for our members, and you're getting a whole lot more. And of course, you make an investment of $197, and that is it, unless you choose to join our live room. Now, we're 12 minutes in. I've gone 10 minutes longer what I wanted to go. So let's get in and talk about some of the trading yesterday on the Globex market. So when the market opens, it closes, my apologies, at the end of New York, Chicago. It reopens, I think it's an hour later, and there is some great price action. So for those my colleagues in the USA that get home, Canada, you want to do some trading after hours, there's some great action. It's a lot slower. On the ES, you'll still get some great volume, and I love the 233 volume. So I'm just going to go through some trades I had run yesterday, and as I said, I go down the beach every morning, so the market reopens at 9, so I still wasn't back there. And remember, if I've got corporate clients or I've had to go to the big smoke up to the office, I won't be usually trading, but I did some trading yesterday when I got back from the beach. And let me just run through some of these. So first of all, once again, traders, 34, nice 34B. We had support down here. Lovely T20 winner, T20 winner, another T20 over here that was a nice winner. Let me just get something. Okay, so what we can see down here, and let me just scroll along a little, so this comes down a little. We can see here we had a beautiful, it's really more than a double top at T7. Now what I've got here is wait for the T1, and that is a counter trend. Now this is a counter trend trade if you were going to take this, but look at that beautiful divergence. Once again, new traders, please do not counter trend trade. So you had T20, lovely winner, nice T25. You then had a formation, and what I've done here, traders, I've left the channel on 21 channel in here, because look at this here. When price separates from the channel, it's a really good indication we are going to get a snapback back to the means, and that's where, like over here, you can probably just see this here as well. This is a great signal. Now here, see how it's tucked in fairly tight with the little channel. Here it separates. When you see that and you get your T1, that is the paint bar, or members, you know what how the paint bar is formed with your two candles and the third candle. Well, then if you don't have the paint bar, well, you've got an entry signal. So, and particularly when you've got divergence. But anyway, the reason I took this short here, I shorted 10 contracts, was for a nice T20, and I actually got in a little earlier than what I would recommend. Normally traders, you'd wait until your candle closes under here, but I was coming off a beautiful T7 with great divergence. Now what you can't see here is there was a pivot, floor pivot running across here, and we can see support here. So we were bouncing. So this was actually, these, not only was everything rolling over, but I was up having a pivot bounce here. So it was a great trade. So I entered in here, got in a little late, and I got out at +4 ticks on 5 contracts, and I went to break even on the balance. And the reason I did that was, as most of you know now, when I'm trading the ES at the moment with this little project I'm on, half a contract I'm off at +4 ticks, and then I go to break even, and I might even go to break even +1 tick, and up and there it went and took me out. Then I shorted again and took a little bit of pressure. That was on a T25, and so you had two T25 setups next door to each other. That was very, very nice. Thank you very much. We had then of course a 34B, these were 34Bs, and another lovely T20. Now one thing here, price was out of a channel. Wait for your T1 to set up. There was no divergence until later on. Now I'm now going to show you a mistake. I also entered into a swing trade on the ES, or a longer term trade, where I had a 10 tick stop. So I won't go into that because we'll spend another half an hour running through on that one. However, I then went and jumped on this particular trade, and this spiked up, and in actual fact this was pure luck. I shorted here on the basis of a T9 T10 setup, and then the market spiked. Now I had a 10 tick stop previously, and this would have actually taken me out. So as much as I ended up having 7 winning trades, one of those I should have been stopped on, which is this one, and I would have been stopped on this for 6 ticks if I had have adjusted my stop. Traders, please double check everything when you're trading, and that was pure luck that my stop was up there at 10 ticks. Otherwise I would have been stopped on that trade. Now there are 2 ways we could look at this. We could say this is a foolhardy trade also, because follow the yellow, follow the gold. Because if you look down here, what did I have? I had a 34B. However, I chose to take this particular trade, so I didn't jump on this one, jumped in here just by pure luck. I made money on that one. That was just very, very lucky. I then shorted again up here, short 20 contracts off a very, very nice divergence double top T9, sorry, T7, and that delivered really well. And then we had another T20, which was a winner. I wasn't on that one, but traders, the T20s are absolutely what I call pearlers during the day. They work really well, really well. Now I've just marked this one up, and you can see here we had another T9 right here, which would have been a winner. I'd basically almost finished trading. I can't remember what I was doing here, getting lunch I think it was, or whatever I was doing at that stage. Then I jumped in without thinking, and this was another blunder, is I jumped in on this trade to short this divergence, and also as a T20. This is mainly for my members, what I'm about to say. Members, after your first pullback after a T20, and that's a T20 there, you got one pullback and then you had another one, and then what have you got there? This is a classic 89-200 bounce. I chose to short it on the basis of this divergence trade. Okay, higher high slightly, my T1 there. it bounced, and I sort of realized what I'd done, and the reason this was not good, I was up against the 200 and the 89, and if you look at the 200 is horizontal, the 89 is horizontal, and the 200 and the 34 is not much better. So I scratched the trade and I was out at +1 tick. I should not have entered that trade. Be very, very cautious when you're on these. And once again, traders, sometimes we need to go out on a limb, and that is what trading is about. And it's okay to scratch trades, and sometimes we need to scratch trades. So one of the times when we should exit a trade, say if we enter a trade and the market slows down, well then maybe then's a good time to scratch your trade, because if it slows down, you don't have momentum, anything could be happening. You could have divergence sets up, you're in a trade, then all of a sudden you start to get strong divergence against you, then it may be a good time to exit. Or you make a mistake, that is, you analyze the market. Now quite frankly, I just shouldn't have taken that trade. I tell you these things for you to also learn. Likewise, what am I saying here is follow the 34. When the 34 is above the 89 and when the 89 is above the 200, what do you do, traders? Longs only. Okay, just be really aware of that. So just be really cautious. This trading's a numbers game, and of course I got a very, very high winning percentage out of a 7 trades there, as much as one only made there 1 tick. I also one should have been a loss, but it still was an incredibly successful day, even with me, let me say it again, multitasking. So just trading your 34Bs, your T20s, traders, there are tons of trades there, and that's all you need for an incredible trading career. So I want to wrap this recording up, traders, and I'm now going to go and do, which I'll probably mail out tomorrow to everyone, the 1000. And I think I only took 3 or 4 trades on there this morning because I was trading the NQ, and we'll just do a couple of things there I just want to recap and teach you. Thanks, traders. Oh, just before we go, once again, I've got to get a commercial in here. This is what helps fund my research a little bit, is if you haven't already purchased or invested in the Day Traders Fast Track program, there's nothing like it on the market. If you're looking to truly day trade or short-term swing trade, look no further. This is the last program you'll ever need to invest in. Now I'll say goodbye. Thanks, traders.